Episode 17. Master the Art of Insinuation. In the game of attracting someone, giving in to the urge to be clear and direct is often the first wrong step towards failure. Trying to openly persuade someone what you want or feel not only brings up natural resistance, it shatters the tempting uncertainty that makes attraction so alluring. You're better off saving your plain honesty for more practical demands. When it comes to captivating someone's desires, mastering hinting is vastly more powerful. At its core, hinting is about subtly planting seeds of ideas indirectly into someone's unconscious mind, letting them grow organically over time from within. Like a subtle leader guiding their target's inner fantasies, you merely provide the suggestive opening notes that provoke their imagination to compose the full attractive symphony itself. The art of ambiguity. Rather than making any clear claims or requests, a hinter shrouds every communication in ambiguity and implication. You want to merely hint at a desirable possibility rather than spelling it out. That way, the idea registers quietly while appearing to originate from the target's own mind. A few well-placed vague references, seemingly accidental slips of the tongue, or comments you swiftly apologize for as inappropriate, can imply worlds of exciting potential. I had the most amazing dream last night. You muse with a subtle smile before changing the subject. Or, I can't stop thinking about that scene from the film we watched where, as you trail off, letting their imagination run wild. Did you intend to suggest that affair, new opportunity, or suppressed desire they can't stop pondering over? They can't be sure, which is precisely what piques their curiosity and creative mind to fantasize. 18th century charmer Giacomo Casanova was a legendary master of such hints. One story has him continually making unclear remarks about forbidden delights to a noble woman, like, "I fear I must confess my mind has turned to wickedness this evening," while shaking his head in feigned shame, not to diffuse any inappropriateness, but to doubly excite his lady target's imagination about what indecencies he had in mind. Create an attractive atmosphere. More than just wordplay, true hinting involves crafting an entire ambience, suggestive of undertones and double meanings. Every gesture, conversational subtext, and loaded silence gets infused with an unmistakable air of mystery and implication. In this arena, postures and glances can be equally as hinting as speech. A sudden pause combined with a lingering look up from beneath furrowed brows can imply depths of unspoken intimacy. When conversing at a party, gradually angle your body to face your target more squarely than manners would dictate, subtly hinting through your posture alone that they've become the subject of your focused interest. Madame de Pompadour mastered the hinting glance, allowing her eyes to communicate entire chapters of veiled meanings and unresolved tensions. With a shy look up through fluttering eyelashes combined with a slight purse of the lips, she could make a man faint with longing for the unspoken. Indeed, something as subtle as angling your shoulders a certain way or adjusting your necktie can radiate undertones of attraction. Silences and linguistic negative spaces are where some of the most electrifying hints happen. When discussing a nostalgic summer vacation, you might remark, "We all got a little carried away at times back then, didn't we?" With a raised eyebrow, before allowing a tense pause to descend. Refusing to give voice to the suggestive premises you've dangled creates charged negative spaces that your target rushes to fill with their own longing interpretations. As 18th century seducer Ninon de L'Enclos advised, "Do not speak of your love unless you wish to kill it." Weave seamless subtleties. While you're building this thick atmospheric haze of implication and unfulfilled tensions, you want your hinting actions to feel like naturally seamless parts of the surrounding social courtesies and conversational codes. Nothing can disrupt the perception that any romantic subtexts are imagined rather than overtly presented. Hide your suggestive double meanings and innuendos amid idle living room banter about philosophy or art. When they mention a Renaissance painting depicting a couple lounging in the grass, arch your eyebrows subtly and murmur, "How intimate." Let lingering glances appear accidental despite establishing a pattern of eye flirting over time, perhaps startling, as if catching yourself in the act of admiring the soft curve of their neck. Bring up apparently irrelevant topics like past heartbreaks or fantasies to create open hinting loops you can circle back to for emphasis later. If they share a vulnerable moment about still longing for an old flame, you might remark, "Passion like that is so rare," with a heavy sigh, only to promptly change the subject to weekend plans. Always maintain plausible deniability. The deceptively powerful technique is to unfurl your thin threads of hinting slowly and subtly, letting them get subconsciously absorbed and woven among the countless informational threads already comprising your target's attentions. That way, they miss your calculated intents, while ruminating unawares on the implications you've obscurely introduced. Feed their craving for uncertainty. At the heart of any irresistible hint lies humanity's deep yearning for romantic uncertainty itself. In a world increasingly flattened by banality and hyperdirectness, we crave the destabilizing ambiguities that spark our imaginative powers. Wherever hinting flowers, so too blossoms the intoxicating promise of unknown gratifications. Think of some of history's most iconic beauties. Were they more appealing for clearly divulging their charms and designs, or for perfuming the air with an aura of elusive, unresolved tensions? When Cleopatra sat amid billowing clouds of mystifying opulence and exotic perfumes, did this not stir far more aching speculation in the minds of men than had she stripped away all pretense? From Theda Bara's sinuous gaslight dances to Louise Brooks's sultry Lulu character, the most dangerously alluring women have wielded mystery and hinting like weapons. Properly wielding hinting doesn't just trigger the target's interest, it makes them emotionally invested in pursuing the ambiguities you've created. They become hooked on craving a resolution to the mixed signals and fertile indeterminacies you keep introducing. When you make a cryptic reference like, "Perhaps we should put your theory to the test," followed by a sly smile only to swiftly change the subject, it breeds a tantalizing tension they cannot ignore. Bit by bit, they read deeper into your every cryptic move, imagining layers of implication that capture their fancy. Like someone idly skimming the surface of a liquid until glimpsing a flash of shimmering shapes below, you've snagged their imagination to endlessly plumb the depths you've obscured from view. Soon, they've worked themselves into a cyclone of speculative desire, all stemming from the suggestive haze you've mastered around them. In 1920s Berlin, the lesbian playwright Christa Winslow became so entranced by a moody young lady in her social circle that she could focus on little else. As Christa recalled, this woman wrapped herself in a fantastic air of mystery, was provocative, yet gave no answer to any courteous questions, and one was left helplessly batting around in the dark. Such is the power of being inscrutable. By offering no release for the uncertainties you instigate, you ensure your targets must fill the void with yearning and obsessive desire to unlock your mystery. So practice hinting not just as a skill, but an all-consuming mindset. Only by fully marinating your presence in an aura of ambiguity can you attain the levels of attractive unresolved tension that will leave your target spellbound. Master the high art of suggestiveness, and you hold their fantasies captive in the palm of your hand. Now something important. Make it a daily habit to learn something truly beneficial that enhances your life. Remember, the content you feed your mind is like nourishment for your brain. Be deliberate in your choices. Otherwise, be wary. Algorithms are often crafted to manipulate your thoughts. Reflect on that. Now, we're excited to announce that we're now welcoming contributions through subscriptions to aid our upcoming projects and bring you exceptional content. Join us by subscribing today.